some reactions that have come in from the eyewitnesses who first, in fact, raised the red flag. Deepak was one of the eyewitnesses who alerted the PCR at approximately 3 o'clock that night. Let's listen into what he had to tell us.
जस्ट एक पीसीआर हमारे सामने से गुजरती है, वो उस टाइम उनके पास इंफॉर्मेशन थी या नहीं थी, लेकिन हम उनके सामने से गुजर जाते हैं और कहीं से मदद लेने में मैं सक्षम इसलिए नहीं हुआ कि मैं लगातार प्रशासन से, पुलिस से, पीसीआर से कॉल पे ही चला हुआ था तकरीबन पिछली 20 मिनट से। इसके चलते चलते जैसे हमने कराड़ा क्रॉस किया, कराड़े में भी एक पीसीआर हमारे आमने सामने से गुजरी है, तो अभी उसने भी कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं दिखाई। फिर जाके बेगमपुर लास्ट पीसीआर मिली मेरे को, या कराड़े में भी एक पीसीआर हमारे आमने सामने से गुजरी है, तो अभी उसने भी कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं दिखाई।
Right, let's get a perspective in from two guests. So joining us, Saira Shah Halim, activist, as well as Mr. Ellen Rao, the former DCP of Delhi. Mr. Rao, coming to you first and foremost, there are several lapses of the Delhi police that have come to light following what has happened, your response and the corrective measures that need to be taken, because questions are actually being asked as to whether or not serious opportunities were missed by the Delhi police to save Anjali's life.
Yes, there are initially, you can say there are some lapses on the part of police because number one, the police presence was not seen in that area where accident took place. Number two, the response of the police control room vans, the police control room vehicles, that was not proper, as Deepak was saying that he tried to inform 2-3 PCR vehicles and there was no response at that time, and that the time taken by the PCR ultimately reaching at the spot was a lot more of time. That was not warranted at that and such type of incident. And if it was reported that a girl is being dragged in a car, then the police should have been sensitive and enough, and then they should have reached at the time. That's why the police is under scanner because of these all lapses. Now, another very important thing that is that nowadays in Delhi, the PCR vans have been attached to the police stations.
Okay.
That is not proper, because earlier when the police control room was used to be independent unit, then there was a very active policing, and then the PCR response time was to the distress call was about 3 to 4 minutes. I have seen when I was there in the department that the PCR vans...
Okay, Mr. Rao, I just have to interrupt you there for just a moment, because some reactions have also come in from the relatives of Anjali who've demanded capital punishment for the accused in this case.
चार्जशीट में ये नोट है कि 13 किलोमीटर जो है वो गाड़ी घूमी है और ड्रैगिंग के कारण जो है ये डेथ हुई है, और ये एक प्रॉपर मर्डर है, एक प्लान मर्डर है। आप लोगों के माध्यम से हमारे भारत के प्रथम नागरिक हमारी राष्ट्रपति श्रीमती मुर्मू जी से, हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी से और हमारे एलजी साहब से, विनय कुमार सक्सेना जी से, आप सबसे ये आग्रह करूंगा कि हमारी जो बहन है, जो दिल्ली की बहन है, जो आज पूरे भारत की बहन बन गई है 140 करोड़ लोगों की, उसको इंसाफ दिया जाए। जैसे निर्भया को इंसाफ मिलने में 10 साल लग गए, वैसा वक्त ना लगाया जाए और इन 5 एक्यूज को जो है फांसी की सजा सुनाई जाए।
Neelashish, coming to you, that was of course one of the relatives of Anjali speaking to the media demanding capital punishment. Not only are they saying that they require the ultimate punishment should in fact be meted out to the accused, they're also saying this was a willful act of murder on the part of the accused.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is the gully from where the last journey of Anjali began, and now she would be reaching the crematorium. The family members, a number of family members that walked along till this road, in fact, were of course very emotional, and they were angry, and they were telling us that they demand that capital punishment be given to the perpetrators of this heinous act. They continue to demand that police action should be stricter, and the punishment that is meted out is of Hasi, as they said. A number of the female family members were adamant that this is the only action that is acceptable to them. In fact, the ambulance in which she was taken away from here on her last journey towards the crematorium, which is on that side, of course, was that Anjali ko nyay chahiye. So, of course, a loud cry for justice for Anjali as far as this heinous incident is concerned.
Yes.
And they are definitely demanding that this is a situation wherein capital punishment must be meted out.
Okay, let's in fact get a view in from Saira Shah Halim, activist as well. Thank you for your patience, ma'am, but this is of course an extremely tragic incident. We're just moments away from the cremation, but serious questions being asked about some of the opportunities that have been clearly missed during the course of this entire incident where her life actually could have been saved.
You're right. You know, there are two things here. One is the absolute callousness of the Delhi government. I mean, they cannot be, let off the, cuff so easily. Be here. We need to also understand and do a full investigation of this very unfortunate and tragic incident. Who are the people who were sitting in the car? One of them apparently happens to be a political party, happens to be a member of a political party. So we need to see whether he knew the girl or not. Thirdly, are the accusations of the family member. I happened to see an interview of the grandmother who has accused a lot of people. So we need to investigate that angle as well. And fourthly, we need to understand that what was the Delhi police doing on New Year's Day? It was such a big, huge event. It's the capital city of India. Here, a young girl of 20, the only earning member, her body is dragged for good 18 to 20 kilometer stretch.
Yeah.
And there's not a single PCR that responded to this witness's calls. That is really alarming.
Absolutely.
It really
there are 4 police chowkis along that stretch, 13 kilometers and 73 minutes, no action taken. Thank you, Saira Shah Halim, as well as Mr. Ellen Rao. We'll slip into a short break. We'll come back with more on the other side.